I would like to call this February 17th Open Student Senate meeting to order. Secretary Patterini, please call the roll.
Pat Hill.
Here.
Here. Ben Kaplan.
Here.
Jim Dillinger.
Here.
Taylor Bird. Here. Greg Brittingham. John Gill. Mariah Johnson. John Mallon. Aaron Niles.
Here.
John Price.
Here.
Sean Rand.
Here.
Michael Harmon.
Here.
Keith Higgins. Chad Miller.
Here.
Corey McGrath. Here. Ashley Salota. Here. Lauren Tabaka. Here. William White.
Here.
Frank Riga.
Here.
Anna Benz. Here. Aaron Meacham. Here. Jack. Mark Wolf.
Here.
Tiana Wu. Here. Riley Clark. Brooke Guccic. Here. Gladys.
Here.
Amelia Smith. Here. Anthony Wagner.
Here.
Annabelle Wappinger.
Here.
Ben Savory.
Here.
26 BCG. Here. ACM.
Here.
Active Minds. Here. Alabama.
Here.
APF. Here. Asian Student Alliance. Here. Autism Speaks. Biosphere.
Here.
Black Student Union. Here. Cheers. China Culture Club. Here. Civil War Club. Here. Class of 2014.
Here.
2015. Here. 2016. Here. Classes Club.
Here.
College Desk.
Here.
College Talk.
Here.
Colleges Against Cancer. Here. Anthony Council.
Here.
AFT. Here. Second Makers Christian Fellowship.
Here.
Drop the Optic.
Here.
Entrepreneurship Club. Film Society.
Here.
War Scores.
Here.
Free the Slaves.
Here.
Free Thinker Society.
Here.
Game Club.
Here.
Ebert TV.
Here.
SCACA.
Here.
German Club.
Here.
Gettysburg Student Music Theater.
Here.
Gospel Choir.
Here.
Object for Humanity.
Here.
Interfaith Council.
Here.
International Affairs. Here. International Club.
Here.
Jabea Club.
Here.
Jazz Appreciation Society.
Here.
LASA.
Here.
Law and Justice Society.
Here.
Losing Student Movement. Mock Trial.
Here.
Alan Nightingale.
Here.
Nina Torres.
Here.
Peace and Justice Club. Free Help.
Here.
Free Vet. Rollerblade Club.
Here.
Word Rock Club.
Here.
Sanga.
Here.
SASA.
Here.
Shots in the Dark.
Here.
Slavic Club.
Here.
Smart Women's Club.
Here.
Skeptical Chemists.
Here.
Society of Physics Students.
Here.
Student Alumni.
Here.
Students for Life. Upscale.
Here.
Young Americans for Liberty.
Here.
Motion to approve the minutes from 2 weeks ago.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstentions? The minutes pass. So who didn't get an email that Senate was canceled last week? Just Johnny? Okay. You sure you didn't get an email? Okay. We'll get that figured out. So we're gonna have to hold all senators and committee chairs at the meeting. We just have Harry has a really quick thing he wants to just run by everyone. So I'm meeting with President Riggs on Wednesday, and hopefully we can bring him to a Senate meeting within the next few weeks. Also, I'd like to bring in Provost Appy to talk about middle states because that process, I believe, begins in March. And that's all I have.
This won't really be coming up for another month or so, but just so you can start thinking about it, elections will be coming up. If you want to run for exec, president, VP, treasurer, and secretary are all open to the whole campus. And if you want to run again as a senator, you also need to be thinking about that. So just a heads up, keep in mind. If you need to talk to any exec member about their position, please feel free to come on up.
Jim?
No report.
Christiana?
No report.
Ben?
We allocated $300 to free the slaves and $460 to college debt grants.
Taylor?
Cooking Children's STEM Nests are coming for Senate recognition tonight.
Okay, so we have no old business, so I'd like to bring Honor Commission up with their 2014 revisions.
Hi, I'm Helena Yang.
And I'm Nick Caragini.
We're co-chairs of the Honor Commission for this year, and we are bringing some revisions to the Honor Code for you guys to vote on tonight. So just a brief history of the Honor Code. We had an Honor Code at Gettysburg College since 1957. In 2006, we substantially revised the Honor Code, and that helped change the process so that we now have a conference, which is a dean, one of the co-chairs, the student that's accused, and the professor or person that's bringing the complaint up. And this helps simplify a lot of our process, and it also helps us give a range of penalties to the student and makes for a more collaborative process rather than a straightforward expulsion. And then in the year 2011 to 2012, we did a 5-year review. And here we had, can we go to the next one? We had a group, can we go to the next one? Yeah, so there was a group with advisors, members of the Honor Commission, and some other administrators, and we got together, looked at the Honor Code, looked at some things that maybe we would like to change, and just wanted to refine the Honor Code as a whole. So out of that, we have established penalty guidelines, which help for deciding what conditions allow for a greater or lesser penalty. There are guidelines for the faculty bringing complaints to the Honor Commission, and that helped increase faculty participation, and having more faculty involved helps us as a whole, as a community, be stronger knit, and just to work out any problems within, not just within the department, but as a school. It also established guidelines regarding the role of advisors so that the student accused can feel like they are in a safe environment, be encouraged to say what they need to, and to make the process smoother. And then it helps in second violation cases so that the punishments were more on the same level as other second violation. And then we also maintain copies of the Honor Code assignment pledge in every classroom, and we also have an end of year report in the Gettysburgian, and we'll also be doing yearly reports at Student Senate.
So just some background data concerning the 2006 revision. To the 10 years prior to that revision, as you can see, there were 470 cases adjudicated, about 31 per year. And in the 5 years since that 2006 revision, we've nearly doubled about how many cases we handle each year. And we believe that that's evidence that the revisions in 2006, people are more comfortable with the code and more willing to bring forth complaints. And I think it's evidence that our new process works very successfully. And so this is the current code concerning penalties. These 3 clauses here, they stress and then establish a range of penalties that the co-chair can consider when making a recommendation for a penalty in the conference, or the 6 commission members can decide upon in a hearing. And as you can see, especially in 4.2, concerning breaches within the purview of a particular course, it gives specific examples of penalties that these members can consider. And also 4.3, a clause we always stress to students that are accused of a violation, that their sincerity and honesty throughout the process will be taken into consideration when deciding on a penalty. And also, now the 2 clauses that follow that currently talk about a normal penalty, which is contradictory to the previous 3 clauses establishing that range of penalties. It talks about normal penalty for a first-time breach being failure in the course, and the penalty for a second offense being expulsion. And in fact, that what we found and what the review committee found is that the normal penalties aren't the most often assigned penalties by far, actually. If you look at our data, this is from the most recent year. I don't know if you can see those numbers well, but out of all first violation cases, only 7 students received a F in the course, and out of all second violation cases, no one was expelled in the past academic year. So that's why the changes that the commission decided on and voted on unanimously removed that language of having a normal penalty, and instead continue to stress the use of a range of penalty, and fall more in accordance with our procedures, especially the penalty guidelines that we've been using and implemented in the past 2 years. I think it's right? 2 years. And so that when we decide a penalty, we take into account all circumstances and factors that may mitigate or increase the penalty. And some of those examples are listed here, that some violations are more severe than others, and their penalties are more severe, and that some circumstances surrounding the penalty may not lead to a harsh, circumstances surrounding the case may not lead to such a harsh penalty, and such.
And so those are 4.4 and 4.5, and then there's a third change we'd like to propose, which is 5.6. So an appeal board comes out of a hearing. So if the hearing is resolved and the student or the professor or someone on the board does not agree with the penalty and the outcome, then they can write to the provost. The provost has to grant that appeal, and then an appeal board will be formed with 3 faculty members and 3 students from the Honor Commission that were not on either the previous hearing board or the conference. So our proposed change is to change it to 7 members, so that there are 3 faculty members, 3 Honor Commission members, and 1 non-voting administrator appointed by the provost. And the reason that we would like that change is so that it more closely follows the format of our current hearing board, which is 6 students and 1 of the co-chairs who doesn't vote. And we think that having 1 person who doesn't vote allows the process to be more equitable, so that that person isn't trying to push what they are voting for, or to try to convince other people of their point of view, and so that they can share their experience. For example, Nick and I have been in a lot of conferences, and it helps, I think, the students understand if we brought up our own experiences, we asked certain questions, it helps them see things from a different perspective without having us trying to say, this is the answer, and it helps them be less biased. So
it's a very tough situation for the accused student, and we think it's important that that non-voting member make sure all evidence is considered, and that people are looking at the right facts, and that student feels as comfortable as you can with the process for the given situation.
especially when sometimes the hearing or the appeal board runs 5 or 6 hours, is really stressful, and to try to have to balance what your view is, try to get everyone to consider the facts. It's hard, I think, to be a voter while you are also trying to be the administrator. Not that I can speak from that, but as someone who's chaired, that's what I would say. And then we have some other data from previous years.
Yeah, this just goes back to the penalty. So this is the 5 years after the 2006 revision. As once again, you can see that the most commonly assigned penalty, in fact, is not failure in course or first violations. It's actually 0 on the assignment and test. And we believe too that that's also, this is a result of using our penalty guidelines and using the full range of penalty rather than just relying on a normal penalty.
And we also included our penalty guidelines that we use today, and having something like this does help in situations where we think that there might be a situation where it was, I don't know, the student doesn't respond, is constantly lying, involves another student. And so it just outlines a different situation that we might have so that we are making consistent kinds of penalties. Does anyone have any questions?
So what, if the previous slide, the one that's fall 2012 to spring 2013, what would an other violation be considered as, like other for violations not enforces?
So there, sometimes people forge signatures and then turn that into the registrar, defacing certain study material so that other people are at a disadvantage, or going through someone's files or something and deleting it or something like that would be things out of the purview of course.
Is there any other?
So the changes you're proposing are basically the first two are just changing the wording, basically changing it from normal to a wide range.
Yep.
Which one's the second, or the third one is just adding something.
Yes.
Well, not quite. I mean,
It's a non-voting member.
Yeah.
Are there any other further questions? So were you planning on having a vote tonight?
If that's
Okay.
possible.
Do you mind putting up just refreshing everyone on the slides?
Sure.
The two slides
Do
you're
you-
planning on voting on?
Just,
These two?
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So this is the first two.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one?
The next one, 5.6.
Are there any outstanding questions or?
So, I think you might have said it at the beginning, but how often do you look through the code and try to make changes?
So
Every 5 years.
well, there was I'm Dee Herker, sorry, there was a huge review in 2006, a very substantial review. But then we're charged every 5 years with doing a review to see how things are going.
Got it.
And so in 2011-12, that's when this special committee was created to see how this new code is going. And these are some of the recommendations that we showed you that came out of that review. So in another 5 years, we'll look at it again.
Do you expect, you said that you saw a spike in the number of violations. Do you expect that to go down as time goes on, now that people feel more comfortable and now it's kind of more present?
Well, to tell you the truth, we can do a survey, as you all know, asking students when they enter the college about what they think about honesty and what their experience is. And from those numbers, it would seem that there probably is a lot more cheating going on than the honor code could catch. What we are seeing is that more students are coming forward, and more students who are dishonest are benefiting from conversations that we have through this new process. Faculty are more willing to use the process and sit down and talk to students so that they learn something from their mistakes, because the penalties aren't automatically failing the class, or the penalty isn't automatically expulsion. So we find more use, we find students understanding what the underlying causes for being dishonest or cheating are. And so, I don't know, they could go up a little more. It's a lot of work for us to do this, but we think that the numbers have increased because people are more satisfied by the process that allows a broader range of penalties.
Motion to approve?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? 3 passed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to bring a cooking club for Senate recognition.
So yeah, we want to start a student club. We have about 20 people so far that are interested in joining. Our idea for the cooking club is every week we want to have a meeting, and we want to cook dinner. And we're not going to cook every week though. We want to do other things as well. Our advisor is Gary, who's the director of Servo, so he said that
guys have a main spot where you're going to be theme house or something?
We haven't entirely figured that out right now. We figured we'd cook in different residence halls. Like, we're trying to cook in Apple. If not, we'll like bring different residence halls. But Gary said that we could use one of the rooms and that was like a typical meetings.
Yeah.
Do you guys have organizational structure, like treasurer, vice president, something like that?
Yeah, we have our whole executive. We will have president, vice president, secretary, public relations, treasurer. But we don't have a senate rep yet.
Are you looking to also commit any of your own finances to this?
Yeah, we would. We're gonna have to probably ask all the members pay like a small fee just to pay for ingredients. And that's as far right now we don't. For this semester we cannot get on somebody else.
Have you cooked anything yet? Looking formally? What? That's supposed to Brad tonight?
We haven't yet. We just have like exec board like meetings so far, but hopefully this Friday we'll have a meeting.
Do you have any plans for like campus-wide activities?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we want to do like the kind of things about like safety and not being anyone can I guess come to that. And we also have an idea to make like a cookbook, and so we were planning on like asking everyone on campus to like submit recipes, and we can do like a fundraising event.
Johnny?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I would like to bring up Stevis for Senate recognition. Stevis. My apologies.
Oh man, I've been sick all day, so I might sound a little weird. But hi, I'm Kirsten Spear. I'm president and founder of Seminus.
I'm Teresa Houts, and I'm co-founder and vice president.
I'm Alana Allen. I'm another co-founder, and I am the program coordinator. So Seminus was founded because all of us found it interesting that we were in fields and in classes where we were one of the few women there, and we wanted to do something about it to fix it. So we started STEMIS. It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Our point is to bring together the women of STEM on this campus, foster an environment of mentorship among its members, and promote or encourage other women to pursue careers in STEM fields. We already have a few things planned for this semester. We want to do a panel of alumni and professors who are in the field, obviously women, just to share their experiences. We would pass on some knowledge that they've gained from their experience in the real world to us as we enter the real world. We have about a core group of 15 people that are incredibly enthusiastic about this, and it makes me wonder why it hasn't been created before. But we have an interest group of about 30 women on campus that are really dedicated to the cause. Dangerous?
How many faculty or administrators?
We actually have two. We have Sunny Kim, who is my advisor, also CS professor, and we also have Sharon Stevenson, who's my professor, my advisor in the physics department. Sunny has been trying to get me to start this for a few years, so she knows I was passionate about it, and I finally had time for this semester. And Sharon reached out to me shortly after.
And she was super pumped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this the kind of group that you can find on like different campuses across?
Yeah, actually, it's because we're such a small campus, we send it out to women in all STEM fields. But it started from women in computing, and women in computing is you can find it at most major universities.
saying yes,
I knew that was gonna happen. So no, actually, you totally can. We are going to make our weekly meetings mostly women, just to foster a safe environment, and so that we're not worried about what we're talking about, what we say. But when it comes to events or things like that, we would actually really encourage you guys to join us as well.
Who made that charge? Rod?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Okay, committee reports, academic affairs.
Hi everyone. So there's a new study abroad program that's been approved, and it's in Spain. And this replaces the old program, and it allows for beginners and intermediates to study abroad. So we want to do a language programming, the language intensive. I think we look out for.
What part of Spain?
Sorry?
What part of Spain?
Is that it, Tiana?
Yeah.
Great. BMC?
No further.
Black?
Today we met with DPS and we talked to addressed a few issues like parking and some other safety issues. So we'll keep you updated on that. The officer is gonna bring the parking issue back to the DPS office and try and find a way to expand parking, maybe allow for parking in the Huber lot at night. Decided to sort of work something out so that there's more parking available.
And then we talked about also kind of bridges. We talked with Dining Services last week, and we're talking about trying to get either we're trying to get food trucks or something during Spring Fest weekend, during the nights when Circle is closed, Bullet's closed, some food. And then we also, so for Dining Services, some people mentioned having bacon at Bullet. We're working on that. We're working on getting like other fruit other than like apples and bananas at Servo. They're talking about maybe changing course schedules around so that there's not the like 12 o'clock rush at Servo where you can't find a seat anywhere. A couple things that we talked about and then we posted on this.
One extra thing for dining. Can you talk to them about why they have the 2.5 hour freeze on
We talked
meals?
about that. He said it shouldn't be. They're trying. It's like it's a really computer thing. So they're working on trying to fix that because they weren't aware that for some reason that. So
We got you, Sonny.
This sounds silly, but did we change sushi suppliers this semester?
off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but.
Can we look into that?
Changes I'm seeing in Bullet.
You can tell, like, yeah, he brought us yeah, I think that's his name. He's really good, and he said just email him whenever you have any ideas or something.
Roll call?
No report.
Special events and programming?
No report.
IT?
Hi again. Okay, so I really long report, but it's really exciting. And I'm actually going to back up here. I should look too. Okay. So there was a new Java update recently. It broke a lot of things, including the library video reserve system. That's been fixed. But you'll notice some things on CNAV are broken, like the CNAV alias. They're working on it. Just bear with them. So great news for everyone except for us seniors who are graduating. You're going to get bigger email sizes, email mailboxes. You're not going to have those stupid reminders that your mailbox is almost full. You're not going to miss emails anymore. They're increasing your mailbox size by 300 times. You're going from 150 megabytes to 50 gigabytes. So like that's more than most of you have on your phone. They're going to Microsoft 365. It's a free program. It doesn't cost us anything. It's going to happen at the end of June on the first, like June 30th to July 1st. That night it'll be switched over. You won't have to do anything. All of your mail, contacts, calendars, everything will be moved over to this new email system for you. The only thing you might have to do is change the server address on your phones or your iPads or any links you might have to it on your computers. And then you'll have a new like login, but you'll still be able to get to it from a web browser. You'll still be able to get to it on your phones, any mail clients and whatnot. Pretty much the only thing that'll change is the user interface. The other thing is for alumni, like or graduating seniors like me, we're actually going to be able to send and receive from our Gettysburg emails because you don't really want to graduate. So we'll be able to receive from our at Gettysburg address, wherever I guess, and then but we won't be able to send from it. We'll get an alumni.gettysburg.edu address that we can send and receive from. And I believe, in the fall they'll be rolling out a mobile PeopleSoft solution. They came to campus last semester. It actually is really good. It replaces a lot of CNAP function as well, but that will still stay there for a while. You can access this even on your laptop too, but it'll be much easier to navigate on a mobile device. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Will it still count us to change our password like every semester? Whoever makes you change, will this new system do that too?
Yeah, that is universal for all of your Gettysburg stuff, and that's a security issue. As like 20-somethings, we're actually a huge target for hackers, so that's one of the reasons why they make you do it, because we're not that well educated on what you get. We tend to go to bad sites and get hacked and whatnot, so that's why they make you do that. Any other questions?
Sustainability.
Okay, so just quickly, in case people don't know, we're actually participating in Recyclemania, which is an event where about 600 colleges nationwide are participating in recycling as much as they can, and then that is totaled and we rate which college recycles the most. So until the end of March, we're participating in that. We're currently in the middle of doing so. We're in the third week, I think, or starting the fourth one. But so that means that recycle everything. We have a single stream system here, so basically anything you recycle, they'll sort it into the proper channels and everything. So just recycle anything. If you don't know, put it in the recycling. Don't put it in the trash.
Great, thank you. And Harry.
The big announcement is on Thursday from 7 to 9. We have Total Safety Week presented by DPS, a number of Greek organizations, and then for everybody staying out here, hoping to get the first ever Senate table of that. So that could be pretty cool. For reports, this was a big one. This was 2 weeks ago. So in a 48-hour period, which was February 7th through the 9th, we had 1 drug possession, 1 larceny, 9 liquor law violations, 3 police citations, and 1 account of public drunkenness. So that was pretty rough. But the real scary part is that whole week we didn't stop partying. So from February 10th to the 13th, and this was the biggest week they said they'd ever seen, we had 2 liquor citations, we had 3 drug possessions, all which involved marijuana, and we even had an account of public drunkenness. So hopefully the numbers are going to be better for this week and last week, and we'll report back to that. And everybody I'll talk to after the meeting. Thanks for staying.
Are there any club announcements? Yeah, Gianna.
So the Year Center is hosting a different event March in Presence of March Madness. The center director is looking for club co-sponsors, and if you guys want any details on that, you guys can message me when you answer the
Yeah.
So there's Epic Weeknight, Thursday, 8 to 10, food and fun. The Friday night, movie night at the Gateway, there's $3 for a movie, and there's a lot of choices, one of which is the Lego movie, I've heard. Saturday night, the movie is The Breakfast Club, and there's Midnight Saturday as well.
Is there anyone? Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have all probably noticed, but there's food containers to put in non-perishable items at Servo and the library. For the College of Democrats, we're collecting for 14 for 2014. So the idea is to put 14 non-perishable items in the box, but we realize that that's a large amount. So any items you can that are non-perishable, obviously, and they go towards like supporting the local community and subsidizing like the food gap. So thank you. Oh, if any clubs are like interested in getting involved too, thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Guys, this week there are the vagina monologues there in the Cup Hall room, Thursday and Friday. I don't know what time, and I know it costs money, but I don't know how much. But there's posters everywhere.
There's like
so-
$8.
Anyone?
$7.
$7 or $8.
15 if I get a shirt.
Those were really great
Tickets
causes.
are $8.
And they're really fun, and you should come see them. So Thursday and Friday, look at the posters.
So if all senators and committee chairs can say after the meeting, that would be great. All those in favor? All those opposed?